Hello, and welcome to the MyBFF Business Leaders Podcast, your new secret weapon for business success. Sponsored by MyBFF Social Media, Marketing, and Advertising. Make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get started.
Welcome to our deep dive today, all about navigating the always changing world of social media.
That's right.
Things have definitely shifted as we kick off 2025, and we're going to dive into research about the decline of organic reach and what that means for your social media strategy as we move forward.
Exactly, and how paid social media advertising can really help you stay ahead of the curve this year.
So let's jump right in.
Right.
One of the things that really stood out to me was this stat about Facebook,
Yeah.
that the average organic reach for a post is only about 5.2% of a page's followers.
Wow.
That means if you have 1,000 followers, only about 52 people are seeing your post organically.
Right.
Is that pretty typical across social media these days?
Unfortunately, yes, Facebook is not alone.
Oh, gosh.
The Digital 2024 report by We Are Social is really showing that this trend of declining organic reach is happening across almost every platform. Basically, social media companies have made this strategic decision to prioritize paid content. And this makes it a lot more challenging for businesses and creators to get their content seen without putting some money behind it.
So that explains why it feels like I'm just shouting into the void sometimes, you know?
Right?
But why are social media companies doing this?
Well,
It's all about money?
I mean, it's a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
These platforms are businesses at the end of the day.
Right.
And they need to generate revenue.
Sure.
And paid advertising gives them a steady stream of income.
Okay.
But what's really interesting here is this shift towards paid content
Yeah.
has actually created a more competitive landscape for social media marketers.
More competitive.
Think about it.
Okay.
With organic reach declining, everybody's really vying for that limited attention span of users.
Right.
It becomes much harder to stand out from the crowd and to capture the interest of potential customers organically.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if our amazing content is just getting lost in this sea of posts, what's the solution? I mean, do we just give up and forget about social media altogether?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
This is not about giving up.
Right.
It's about adapting.
Okay.
It's about understanding how the game is played now.
Okay.
And that's where paid advertising comes in.
Paid advertising.
Yes.
I have to admit, I get a little intimidated by this whole idea.
Sure.
It just seems like a very complicated beast with all the different platforms and targeting options.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin with that?
I totally get that.
Yeah.
It can feel a little overwhelming at first, but it's really not as scary as it seems once you understand the basics.
Okay.
So let's think of paid advertising as a tool,
Okay.
not a foe.
Okay.
It's like a megaphone
I like that.
that can help you reach a much wider and more targeted audience than you ever could organically.
Okay. The megaphone analogy, I like that.
Right.
Makes it feel a little less daunting.
Good.
So tell me more about this idea of a targeted audience.
So instead of just hoping that your content randomly reaches the right people,
Right.
paid advertising lets you specify exactly who you want to see it. And this could include people who fit a certain demographic,
Okay.
have expressed interests that align with your brand,
Yeah.
or have even interacted with your content in the past.
So I could, for instance, target people who are interested in sustainable fashion, live in a specific city, and have visited my website before.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're no longer limited to just your current followers.
Gotcha.
Paid advertising lets you reach a whole new pool of potential customers who are actually likely to be interested in what you have to offer.
This is really making me rethink my whole social media strategy.
Oh, glad to hear that.
But wait, before we go too deep into paid advertising,
Yeah.
doesn't this mean we have to abandon organic content completely?
Uh,
I mean, building authentic relationships with our current followers is still important, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Organic content is still extremely valuable
Okay.
for building those genuine connections with your existing followers.
Right.
Think of it as the foundation of your social media presence.
Okay.
It's where you showcase your brand personality,
Yeah.
you share behind-the-scenes glimpses, and engage in conversations with your community.
So that's where that authentic connection piece comes in.
Exactly.
You know, we're providing valuable content that resonates with our current community.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not an either-or situation.
Yep.
It's about finding that right balance between organic and paid.
Exactly. And we have some really compelling data
Oh.
from Sprout Social,
Okay.
which is a leading social media management platform.
Right.
Their research shows that incorporating paid campaigns can be significantly more effective than relying solely on organic efforts, especially when it comes to lead generation.
Okay.
It's about harnessing the power of both approaches.
This is fascinating stuff.
I agree.
I'm already starting to feel more confident about tackling the social media landscape in 2025.
I would love to hear that.
But I am curious to know more about how we approach paid advertising strategically. It's not just about throwing money at ads, right?
You're absolutely right. That's a common misconception.
Okay.
Throwing money at ads without a clear strategy is like sailing a ship without a rudder.
Oh, wow.
You need a plan.
Right.
And the first step in crafting that plan involves defining your objectives.
Oh,
So
yeah.
before you even think about launching a campaign, ask yourself, what am I hoping to achieve with this?
Right.
Are you primarily focused on increasing brand awareness,
Okay.
driving traffic to your website, or generating leads?
Okay.
The answer to that question will really shape your entire approach.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job, right?
Exactly.
You wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a light bulb.
Exactly.
So having a clear objective in mind helps us select the right paid advertising strategies.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to dive deeper into those strategies.
And once you've identified those goals, you can really start to narrow down your target audience.
Okay.
The more specific you can be with your targeting, the more effective your campaigns will be.
You mentioned targeted audiences before.
Yes.
Can you give me some examples of how we can get really specific with who sees our ads?
Absolutely. That's where the power of advanced targeting comes in.
Okay.
Think about it. You can target people based on their demographics,
Right.
like their age, location, gender.
Ah,
You can target them based on their interests, behaviors, even job titles.
wow.
You can even target people based on their online shopping habits or whether they've interacted with your brand before.
Wow, that's pretty granular.
Yeah,
It seems like you could practically handpick the people you want to see your ads.
you're not far off.
Oh, wow.
This level of specificity allows you to create these hyper-targeted campaigns that are much more likely to resonate with your audience and deliver results.
Okay.
It's all about maximizing your return on investment.
That makes a lot of sense. Instead of casting a wide net and
Yeah,
hoping for the best, we can strategically focus our efforts on the people most likely to be interested in what we had to offer. It's like using a laser pointer instead of a flashlight.
I like that analogy.
Right.
And speaking of focusing our efforts,
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the different types of paid advertising campaigns you can run.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with all the various options out there?
I know a little bit.
Okay.
To be honest, it can be overwhelming to keep up with all the different platforms and campaign types.
Sure.
A little refresher would be very helpful.
I'm happy to break it down for you.
Awesome.
So let's start with the big players, Facebook and Instagram.
Right?
These platforms are giants in the social media world, and they offer a really wide range of advertising options.
Yeah.
You can run ads that appear in users' newsfeeds, stories, or even in their messenger inboxes.
So if I'm looking to reach a broad audience,
Yeah,
Facebook and Instagram are good places to start.
they certainly can be.
Okay.
But keep in mind, each platform has its own strengths.
Right.
For example, Instagram is highly visual.
Yes.
So it's a great platform for showcasing products or services that have a strong aesthetic appeal.
Right. Instagram is all about those eye-catching photos and videos.
Sure.
What about other platforms like LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is a fantastic platform for targeting professionals.
Oh.
If your target audience includes business decision makers or individuals in specific industries, LinkedIn ads can be very effective.
Gotcha.
You can even target people based on their job titles, seniority level, and company size.
So if I'm selling software to marketing directors at Fortune 500 companies,
Yeah,
LinkedIn would be my go-to.
precisely.
Right.
Now, let's not forget about Google Ads.
Right.
While not technically a social media platform, Google Ads is an incredibly powerful tool for reaching people who are actively searching for products or services like yours.
Oh, right. Google ads are those ads that pop up at the top of search results?
Exactly.
Okay.
When someone searches for keywords related to your business, your ad can appear right in front of them.
Right.
It's a great way to capture the attention of people who are already expressing interest in what you offer.
That's really helpful. I'm starting to see how each platform can be leveraged to reach different types of audiences.
Right.
But with all these options, it can feel overwhelming to figure out where to focus our efforts.
Sure.
Any tips on navigating that decision?
It all comes back to those objectives you defined earlier.
Okay.
What are your primary goals?
Right.
Who is your target audience? and where are they spending their time online?
Right.
Answering those questions will help you determine which platforms and campaign types are most likely to deliver results.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's a process of elimination and strategic alignment.
exactly.
But let's say we've identified our objectives,
Okay.
narrowed down our target audience,
Yes.
and selected our platforms.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Great question.
Do we just set our campaigns and forget about them?
Definitely not. That's one of the biggest mistakes businesses make with paid advertising.
Really?
It's not a set it and forget it type of thing.
Okay.
You need to constantly monitor and adjust your campaigns based on their performance.
So it's an ongoing process.
Yes, very much so.
Like tending a garden.
Yes.
We need to nurture our campaigns, prune back what's not working, and fertilize what is.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
You need to regularly analyze your campaign data,
Okay.
identify what's working, and make adjustments accordingly.
Gotcha.
This could include tweaking your targeting, updating your ad copy, or testing different creative assets.
This all sounds so much more manageable now.
Good.
But amidst all this talk about paid advertising,
Yeah.
I still can't shake this feeling that organic content still plays a vital role in connecting with our audience authentically.
I agree.
Is there a way to make these two approaches work together seamlessly?
You're absolutely right. Organic content is not obsolete. It's about finding that right balance
Okay.
and understanding how organic and paid can complement each other.
Right.
Think of it as a 1-2 punch.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this 1-2 punch approach.
All right.
How can organic and paid content work together harmoniously?
Let's imagine you've created an amazing blog post packed with valuable insights for your target audience.
Right.
You share this post organically on your social media channels,
Uh-huh.
generating conversations and engagement with your existing followers.
Right.
That's your first punch, establishing a strong foundation of organic reach.
So that's where the authentic connection comes in.
Exactly.
We're providing valuable content that resonates with our existing community.
Exactly. But now you can leverage the power of paid advertising to amplify that same piece of content,
Okay.
extending its reach far beyond your current follower base.
Interesting.
That's your second punch, strategically boosting your visibility.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So we're not just creating separate organic and paid content. We're strategically using paid advertising to give our best organic content a turbo boost.
Precisely.
I like it.
And you can get really creative with how you integrate the two approaches.
Okay.
For instance, you could run a paid advertising campaign promoting a lead magnet, like a free ebook or webinar. Then you direct people to a landing page on your website where they can download the lead magnet.
Okay, but how does that tie back into organic content?
On that same landing page,
Yeah.
you can showcase your latest blog posts, social media updates, and other relevant organic content.
Okay.
This way, you're capturing leads through paid advertising while simultaneously exposing them to the valuable organic content you've already created.
That's a brilliant strategy.
Thanks.
It's like creating a synergistic loop where paid advertising drives traffic to our organic content.
Yeah.
And our organic content helps nurture those leads and build stronger relationships.
You got it. It's all about finding those creative ways to intertwine the two approaches. And remember, it's an ongoing process of experimentation and optimization.
Right.
What works for one brand might not work for another, so it's crucial too. Continuously analyze your data and make adjustments as needed.
You've given me so much to think about today. I feel like my understanding of social media is leveled up.
That's great.
But before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I have one more question for you.
Okay.
It seems like the social media landscape is constantly shifting.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on the future of social media?
Right.
Is this rapid evolution going to continue?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
It's impossible to predict the future with absolute certainty, but if we look at the trends, I think it's safe to say that social media will continue to evolve at a breakneck pace.
Okay.
What works today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Wow.
New platforms and technologies are constantly emerging.
That can feel a little daunting, to be honest.
I get that.
How can we possibly keep up with all these changes?
It's definitely a challenge, but it's also an exciting opportunity.
Okay.
The key is to stay curious and embrace experimentation and be willing to adapt.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be afraid to try new things, even if they feel a little outside your comfort zone.
So instead of fearing change, we should see it as a chance to innovate and discover new ways to connect with our audience.
Exactly. The social media landscape might feel like a jungle at times, but it's also this vibrant ecosystem teeming with possibilities.
Yep.
Those who are willing to explore, adapt, and learn will be the ones who thrive.
Gotcha.
And remember, You don't have to navigate this alone. There are tons of resources available to help you stay ahead of the curve.
That's reassuring to hear.
Yeah.
What are some of the best resources you'd recommend for someone who wants to stay on top of all the latest trends and strategies?
Industry blogs and websites are great places to start.
Okay.
Sites like Social Media Examiner, Sprout Social's blog, HubSpot's marketing blog offer a wealth of information and insights.
Yeah,
Podcasts like this one are another fantastic way to learn from experts and stay updated.
I agree.
And don't underestimate the power of online communities and forums.
Right.
Connecting with other social media professionals can provide invaluable support, advice, and inspiration.
Great advice. It's all about continuous learning and growth.
It is.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today into the world of social media, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
If I had to distill it down to one essential piece of advice,
Okay.
it would be this: embrace change.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Right.
Try new things. See what works best for your unique brand and your audience.
Yeah.
The beauty of social media is that it's constantly evolving,
Right.
which means there's always something new to learn and discover.
I like that.
Stay curious, stay agile, and most importantly, have fun with it.
I love that embrace change. It's a powerful reminder that in the dynamic world of social media, flexibility and adaptability are key.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, to our listener out there, we hope this deep dive has provided you with valuable insights and inspiration as you navigate this crazy world of social media.
Yes.
Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep connecting with your audience in authentic and engaging ways. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, happy posting.